Within days of the murder of the British student Meredith Kercher, the Italian police had arrested 3 suspects. The prosecution claimed they had forced Meredith to take part in a violent, drug-fueled sex game and then killed her. It was a sensational story, and the police were triumphant. Caso chiuso. Case closed. It seemed that the murder of Meredith Kercher had been solved. Under interrogation, Amanda Knox, an American student, first denied she was there and then confessed to being present when Meredith was killed.
Maybe you smoke too much, you drink too much, and all of a sudden something gets out of control and somebody gets killed.
Amanda Knox and her boyfriend, Raffaele Sollecito, now face up to 30 years in prison.
She's absolutely innocent. There's no doubt in my mind that she's had nothing to do with this.
Knox had accused her boss of carrying out the knifing. He's now been released.
I think Amanda accused me because I'm black.
5 months on, Knox is locked up but has still not been charged, and the police investigation is facing criticism at home and abroad. Does anyone really know what happened the night Meredith died? Meredith Kercher was murdered in her bedroom on the night of November the 1st. The police found her partially clothed body lying on the floor under a duvet. The girl's neck was badly bruised on one side. On the other, a very deep knife wound.
La morte è stata determinata da più fatti. C'è stata una ferita importante al collo, c'è stata aspirazione di sangue nei polmoni, c'è stata anche un costringimento del collo, si chiama strozzamento o strangolamento a seconda. Credo che l'afferramento abbia preceduto l'accoltellamento.
First reports claimed that Meredith had been the victim of a sadistic sexual attack. Her killers had forced her to the ground and then stabbed her. The 21-year-old girl had then suffered a slow, agonizing death, drowning in her own blood.
She was looking forward to coming home this weekend for her mother's birthday. We feel it's no exaggeration to say that Meredith touched the lives of everyone she met with her infectious, upbeat personality, smile and sense of humour.
Meredith had come to this hilltop city to study political history at the University of Perugia. News of the murder spread through the 40,000 students like wildfire.
E non ci volevo credere perché Perugia è un centro piccolissimo, si conoscono quasi tutti gli studenti, era un po' come se fosse successo a casa mia.
Che faccia paura che una persona, un uomo, possa commettere una cosa così crudele.
Suddenly, it seemed everybody had a theory about the murder.
Young people coming from all over the world, away from their own communities. Finally, they come to Perugia and they explode. They do what they want. And once in a while, something goes wrong. Maybe you smoke too much, you drink too much, you think you are in kind of exciting one another like a group sex activity, and all of a sudden something gets out of control and somebody gets killed.
The world's media were on the case. Every step was catalogued.
Lei comincia l'autopsia adesso, sul sito, alle 10.
Then a sensational development. With great fanfare, the police announced that they had arrested an American student and her Italian lover. According to the prosecution, Amanda Knox from Seattle and her boyfriend Raffaele Sollecito had killed Meredith with the help of Knox's boss, Congolese bar owner Patrick Lumumba. Overnight, Amanda Knox and her lover became international celebrities.
Noi sosteniamo l'innocenza della ragazza e il pubblico ministero sostiene che sia.
Speculation was rife, with tales of students high on drugs, alcohol and sex, or even of a cold, calculated killing, jointly planned, jointly executed. Knox's arrest had played right into the fears of the older generation. Soon a flood of pop psychology was filling the newspapers. Perugia was being painted as Dante by day, Inferno by night. The problem with Perugia, it was said, was the internet generation.
Era quasi sconsigliato uscire in quei giorni a Perugia perché c'erano più giornalisti che studenti e come ti vedevano con un bicchiere di birra in mano venivano là, ti inquadravano e dicevano ma tu fai parte di quelli che si ubriacano la sera, ti riprendono e dicono questa è la gioventù perugina.
When the press found photographs of Knox and Sollecito on the internet, they had a field day. Sollecito was wrapped head to foot, holding a meat cleaver in one hand and a bottle of bleach in the other. Knox was shown sitting behind a machine gun with the caption, "The Nazi on the inside." Then a video turned up on YouTube showing Knox getting drunk.
One shot, Amanda. It was 1.5, okay? One shot.
The press discovered that Knox styled herself Foxy Knoxy and that she had written a story about two brothers, both into drugs and rape. One line read, "The girl you raped, Kyle. Did you know her name?" By the time Knox's parents visited their daughter in prison, Foxy Knoxy was getting the attention of a mafia boss rather than an American sweetheart.
We have no comment. Thank you. Please.
We have to believe that the system's going to finally get it right, that they've got an innocent girl detained. And, you know, we just have to believe that they're going to see the light and they're going to release her.
The hardest part is leaving her there. You know, you go when you're happy to see her and she's thrilled that you're there, and there's lots of hugs and lots of trying to encourage her and make sure that she's finding a way to be happy, but walking away and leaving your innocent daughter there is heartbreaking.
In that heady first week, the prosecution's version of Meredith's murder had become the gospel. Meredith had been killed by Amanda Knox and her friends. All three suspects were doubtless guilty. But that absolute certainty was soon about to crumble. Within days of the death of Meredith Kercher, the prosecution were claiming it was a murder based on drugs and sex. They were convinced that Meredith's flatmate, Amanda Knox, was right at the heart of the crime.
Amanda è dipinta dagli investigatori come una specie di ragno, che è una vedova nera, ecco, quello che una donna pericolosa e assassina che nelle sue spire erotiche praticamente unisce tutti gli altri membri della questione, della scena del delitto. E io credo che se Amanda fosse stata brutta non sarebbe successo questo.
Already, the first doubts about the police case were beginning to surface. Maio Ponte is one of Italy's leading crime journalists. Over the years, he has covered murders by the mafia, political assassinations, sex crimes, and everyday domestic killings. He was not convinced by the lurid tales about Foxy Knoxy.
Non sappiamo ancora nulla di preciso. Perlomeno è un mistero perché Meredith sia stata uccisa e soprattutto come e da chi. Non abbiamo un movente e non abbiamo nemmeno una dinamica del delitto.
When Ponti went to Perugia, his concerns about the case increased. At the crime scene, he soon realized that the police investigation had not been as thorough as it could have been.
Eppure pensavo non fosse difficile riuscire a capire cosa è successo qui dentro. Non riesco a capire come mai non si siano trovate tracce di fuga, ad esempio. Essendoci stato del sangue, qualche macchia di sangue avrebbe dovuto essere anche lungo la via di fuga. È uno dei misteri di questa vicenda.
Ponti went across to the University for Foreigners, just 5 minutes from the crime scene, to see where the story of Meredith and Amanda Knox began. Set up under Mussolini, the university is world famous for its Italian language teaching. Knox arrived here last August for a 3-month course. Soon she heard about a room to rent. Her flatmates would be Meredith and 2 Italian girls. On her blog she writes, "It's a cute house that is right in the middle of this random garden. We enter through a gate and there it is. I'm in love." The house was a converted cottage with 4 girls on the upper floor and 4 Italian boys on the lower. Meredith had just started a relationship with one of the boys downstairs. Both girls had separate rooms and separate friends. Before long, there were tensions between the new flatmates.
Amanda, secondo me, che è una personalità molto interessante, molto contorta e molto complessa, e soprattutto ha anche dovuto fare i conti con quella che era l'evidente antipatia che avevano per lei le amiche di Meredith. Tutte queste ragazze ci tengono a dire che lei non aveva un buon rapporto con la Meredith, che Meredith la criticava perché lei portava i ragazzi a casa, ma non solo, perché non puliva la casa, insomma perché veniva meno alle regole di convivenza di una coabitazione.
Meredith, at 21, was just 1 year older than Amanda Knox when she arrived in Perugia. She told her father about the men that Knox brought home. Strange types, she said.
Meredith was a fantastic girl. She was just so bubbly all the time. She never seemed to worry about anything. She always made the best of the situation, and she was just always smiling and always happy and made you feel a lot like at home, like when you were around her.
The last pictures of Meredith were taken the night before she died. It was Halloween.
Meredith era travestita vampiro, diciamo. Aveva questo mantello nero, questi denti finti. Anche io avevo adottato questo vestito. Infatti mi ricordo che il pomeriggio avevamo avuto una disputa con Meredith perché doveva prendere i denti finti che erano rimasti l'ultimo, diciamo, paio nel negozio qui in centro dove li vendevano.
The following evening, Meredith had a pizza with friends and watched the film Notebook on DVD. Just before 9, she walked back to the cottage, telling her friends that she was tired and wanted an early night. She went some of the way with one of the girls she'd had supper with. The last part of the walk, however, Meredith was on her own.